All right, let's go with the Chargers 49ers under 45.5. I think, look, the Chargers play fast. The 49ers are the opposite, and this is a clash of tempos here. But the Chargers run defense hasn't been as bad as their stats indicate. I talked about that last week and actually held up pretty well against Atlanta. Just a fairly good, pre-preparation game before you face the 49ers. They give up like a 40 to 50 yard run every game. And then the rest, they're actually better than the stats indicate. If you take away their 140 to 50 yard run they allow every game, then their average yards per rush allowed is in the top 5 in the NFL. So look, you don't want to do that, but what I'm saying is they're not just getting gashed on a down-to-down basis like last year. They're a little better in that department. And on the other side of the ball, I don't see how the Chargers move the ball here. They are extremely limited at receiver. They also have major offensive line problems, which will show here against the San Francisco front. And you saw it last week. Atlanta undermanned secondary, can't get pressure. The Chargers offense still, it was a slog. And probably got fortunate to win that game. And they just got to 24 points against a bad Atlanta defense. Now you're playing one of the best defenses in the NFL that's getting healthier. Also, San Francisco is elite at covering backs out of the backfield, number 2 in the NFL. So, it doesn't look like Williams is going to play. Keenan Allen still isn't practicing. You can't really dump it off to Eckler all day. Your offensive line is a mess. You're going to be under how are you going to move the ball? So I think San Francisco will be able to control the clock here, move the ball. It won't be as successful as some might think, but the slower team in this game is going to possess the ball for a majority of the game. And I just can't see the Chargers doing much. And but I think their defense will battle. Give me the under here. Under 45.5. Also, the 49ers just always, they're as favorites at home. Like they always just they just will play down to whoever they're playing and make it a game somehow. So that means I just can't see the Chargers scoring much. So that means this game will be like 20 to 17 or something like that. So yeah, I think all of the Chargers offensive problems are going to show here. Like you can get away with that against Atlanta, not here.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I mean, I'm actually not as high in the Chargers' run defense this year. I think the run defense is actually pretty bad, and that's probably the biggest concern for this number going over. But beyond that, I mean, you have a San Francisco team that they're going to throw, nothing's going to be down the field. Everything's going to be short passes. And then Justin Herbert's doing the same thing this year. Everything's short. And San Francisco is allowing the 3rd lowest defensive average depth to target at 6.3. So I don't think that's going to change for the Chargers. And if Herbert's not making explosive plays, then you're just probably relying on run after the catch, which could happen. But yeah, I think it's, you take away the Chargers' best weapon, Austin Eckler, and San Francisco. I mean, they're going to get theirs with McCaffrey and whatnot, but they should want to keep it on the ground because I don't think this Charger run defense has been good. I mean, even last week, they still gave up, I think it was like a 60% rush success rate. So in my opinion, they weren't consistent down and down, but that's still going to bleed the clock. So I think it's could be like a 27-13 Niner win, something like that. Any interest in teasing the Niners, by the way, or teasing them down?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, but they just get the weird games as a favorite in the spot. But yeah, I don't mind teasing the Niners. Yeah, and I wouldn't say the Chargers are. I don't think they're a good run D. I just think that they're improved from last year, and they can actually compete more on a down-to-down basis. I mean, last week they gave up a 45-yard run, and by the way, they only scored 20 against Atlanta last week. They gave up a 45-yard run to Algier, which they seem to do every week. And then, other than that, he had 9 for 50. Patterson had 13 for 44 with a long of 7. Huntley had 7 for 34. Mariota had 5 for 24. So, they're not getting as gashed as they were last year. They're more competitive on a down-to-down basis. They're still bad run D. They're not great. And they're also giving up major explosive runs, which also contributes to whether or not you're a good or bad run defense. But I'm just saying in general, I think that they're not going to give up as much as they have in the past. And that just means to me that San Fran's going to be able to control the clock and methodically drive the ball down the field, which is just going to chew up clock because they play super slow. But I don't mind teasing them, but I like the under here more.
Should get Elijah Mitchell back too, so they're gonna have a lot of choices running that football. For my total, I am going with the Broncos Titans under 36.5. Let's just go low here because you have two offenses that are outside the top 20 in DVOA, two top 10 defenses. The Broncos are number 2 on defense. The Titans are number 10. Broncos number 27 on offense. Titans number 22. And then look at this Titans offense. And you've talked about it. They're averaging just 18.6 points per game this year, which is 24th in the league. And that is despite a league high 78.6% red zone touchdown conversion rate. Well, now you're facing a Broncos defense who's the best in the league on defense in the red zone, allowing just 26.3% of opponent red zone possessions to score touchdowns. And then you look on the other side, and Denver on offense, they're the worst team in the red zone at 35%. And the Titans are they're pretty good. They're 11th in conversion rate, and they're 4th in DVOA, which adjusts for strength of schedule. So two excellent red zone defenses. And then you have the same kind of thing on third down. Denver's offense, 31st in third down conversion rate. Tennessee defense, 1st in third down conversion rate allowed. And Tennessee offense, 29th in third down conversion rate. Denver defense, 7th in third down conversion rate allowed. So they're not going to get anything in a red zone. They're not going to get anything on third down. There's going to be a lot of punts in this game. And then the Broncos average pace, but the Titans slowest team in the league in neutral situations at 33.9 seconds per play. So that should shorten the game. And it's got, don't overthink it here. Under 7-1 in Broncos games this year. It's 6-2 in Titans games, 4 straight Broncos games under, 5 straight Titans games under. And per our Action Labs data, when you have both teams in a game that have hit the under at least 3 times in a row, the under in that game is 39, 26, and 1, 60% since 2003, covering by an average of 2.8 points per game, so nearly a field goal. And remember, it took 66 minutes for Tennessee and one of the best offenses in the league to get to 37 points. So now you're talking about one of the worst in the Broncos. I think the Broncos, off a bye, they might do some things, but you'll probably get Malik Willis here. Tannehill did return to practice, so we'll see. But either way, I think it's going to be a run-heavy game plan for Tennessee, and don't expect Denver's defense to dominate and hold Tennessee out of the end zone in the red zone, which is something that most teams haven't been doing.